I predict football games for a living, and we've just enjoyed a run of 10 consecutive in-play winners. To put that into perspective, if you'd started with £10 and rolled over on each tip, that £10 would now be £50,000. Here's how we did it. First, we capitalised on a Luke Shaw booking away at a Luton side that predominantly target the right-hand side of the pitch. It took just 20 minutes for this to come to fruition. We then turned our focus to the German lower leagues for a late goal in TSV Meerbusch, followed by a trip to Leeds United's training ground to identify an expansive game state and a Chelsea goal in transition. We then distinguished wide inversions against a tiring Cardiff under-21 side, allowing us to take advantage of corners during a competitive scoreline. Man City to score was a no-brainer, tied 0-0 in the final 20 minutes versus Brentford. We combined this with both teams to score in a Scotland Cup game prepared earlier in the day. Back to the German fifth tier for goals in Victoria Hamburg, a top-heavy side we followed closely for years due to their long-term management. This matchup suited. Returning to the major leagues where Man City were a nice price to beat Bournemouth, we doubled this up with Bayern to score 2 goals at home to Leipzig. We then headed to the Belgium second tier and waited for RFC Liège to fall behind before pouncing on late corners. We went in twice here due to the underlying stats and intent for a result. We made it 10 in a row with another winner from the German fifth tier, taking over 1 goal in the 67th minute of the Turk game. The match went on to finish 3-1. Agree or disagree? I'm looking at corners achieved for Bournemouth last season. In 63% of games, they've achieved 5 or more corners, which to the naked eye may look nothing spectacular, just above average. But if you were to take away game states such as your Liverpool, your Cities, your Arsenal, Newcastle away, your Villas, games that you don't expect a lot of final third action for Bournemouth, you don't expect them to really attack that game and achieve corner probable scenarios. You can justify that by the minimal corners conceded for these opponents. You could arguably remove 4 or 5 opponents from the Premier League, which would be 25% of the league, that you do not expect Bournemouth to go out and achieve 5 or more corners, which make this figure considerably higher than what it may seem. And you can then confirm that by looking at the stats versus these opponents. So you got your Bournemouth at home to City, they achieved 3 corners, compared to your 10s, your 11s, be Luton, Sheffield United, your 9s versus Crystal Palace and Everton, 7 versus Man United at home, Arsenal away, 1 corner, so we can back it up, and I have backed it up further by looking at every single opponent, and I can confirm that angle is true, suggesting this figure for 5 or more corners would be more like 90% versus average opponents, which is what we have tonight. Bournemouth v Southampton, over 4 corners 2-7, over 5 corners 4-7, and over 6 corners evens. This is a really nice ballpark to work with, and it would not surprise me to see it go higher. The underlying data points towards Bournemouth being a corner achieving side. We knew that from last season under Iriola. I'm going to go away and look at footage from this season's games to confirm that further. We know Southampton have seen a lot of corners, especially this season, 10 versus Ipswich, 9 versus Everton, 7 versus Man United, your 10 versus Forest. This could be a really good angle for corners. Of course, nothing finalised. We still have final checks to do, such as press conferences, etc. I'm looking to have all of today's tips finalised